Hello, once again, another week has passed and I am back to report on it. So, what is going on, everybody? Let's see how to start off. Today's Friday, just got out of class, on my way home. My parents got in town today, so that's kind of exciting. And yeah, it's been a really good week though. Let's see, the biggest thing that happened this week is the Fred Gray Symposium happened. The Fred Gray Symposium is an awesome symposium, an awesome kind of legal get-together, you could say, that we had here at the school. And Fred Gray is an awesome attorney. I think he was from Tuskegee, so just a little bit out of Montgomery, really, a little bit outside here. And he was the famous attorney that he represented Rosa Parks, as well as representing Martin Luther King, portrayed in the movie Selma that just came out. So if you're interested in things like civil rights and the civil rights movement especially, that would be definitely a good movie to check out. But it's kind of interesting to have at our school today like these living historical figures who were in the middle of some of the greatest civil rights debates, you know, that the country's ever seen. The week itself, though, school was really good. Made it through my classes and just going along. So, and at that part of the semester now where we kind of just you're on cruise mode, you know, you're falling into your rhythm of studying and knowing what you need to do and just kind of getting it done. So there's not a lot of leeway. I mean, last semester it was kind of like you're still trying to get your feet under you and trying to figure out what this whole law school thing is about and how to, you know, read and brief cases correctly and spotting issues and all that. And now it's kind of like, well, now you kind of learned how to do that last semester, and that's what it's kind of like. And now you just go, and that's kind of how it's been. Let's see, with the symposium and things like that, there was a little bit less reading at the end of the week this week, so I'm already pretty ahead for the beginning of next week, which means that this weekend, with not only but with the Super Bowl and everything, will be a nice, relaxing, free weekend. So I'm so excited. My parents, like I said, are in town, and because they're in town, I'll be making 2 specialty dishes this weekend, which one is going to be a prime rib with a Brussels sprout bacon kind of hash side, which is awesome. So I just stopped at the store to pick up the ingredients for that, so I'm all stoked. The guy at the store was like, "Looks like you really like Brussels sprouts." And I'm like, "It's all good, dude. You don't even understand." No, but it's, everybody loves the dish, and I always make too little of it, so I kind of went overboard, hopefully, this time with it. And also gonna make some chicken wings, and everybody apparently at home, everybody loves the chicken wings. So I've found a great recipe that has a very crispy outside with a variety of sauces that I make with them that we're gonna be making for the weekend, but they have a super flavorful, tender inside. So won't release my secret here, right? It's not my secret, I learned it from somewhere else. But I tried it out and it worked perfectly, so they're a huge hit. And they're baked, they're not fried, but they have the same texture as being fried, that's the awesome part. They're super, super crispy. Anyway, that's enough about food and things like that. It is exciting because the Super Bowl is this weekend, so Laura is, of course, a Seahawks fan, and I guess if I had to go for any NFC team, I would probably say that I'm a Seahawks fan too, since, you know, maybe one day, depending how things go, I end up living in Seattle too. That would be even better. So anyway, other than that, things are going really well. Still really, really loving my contracts class. I mean, honestly, I think that class is a lot of fun and a lot of awesome topics and things that are very applicable to, you know, what I see a lot of some of you that watch this video and other people and artists especially that I know, that they have to deal with kind of things like this on a daily occurrence. So maybe one day, you know, I can help some of you out with that. As for everything else. My legal research and writing class is ramping up. I mean, I thought it ramped up before, and it's just ramping up even more. We're getting the spring brief going, and that's like 75% of my grade, so gotta nail that. But we got assigned our the parties that we're going to represent, so I kind of know what's going on with my side of the argument, and starting to build the outline of where I'm going to be going with that. So that's all I'll be able to tell you. Let's see. There, also property is getting good. It's one of those classes where there's a lot of kind of things that you're trying to learn about and understand, and it's very substantive. So, and the teacher, though, Professor McLeod, he teaches it really well. He did run a little bit late to class a couple times, though, and we didn't know exactly why this week. But he let us know that he actually is working with the Attorney General, so he's kind of like a Deputy Attorney General on the side, and he's out there working on the same-sex marriage cases for the state. As you know, a federal judge, I think it was in the Southern District, so around Mobile, they recently made a ruling on a case down there that kind of paved the way to lift the ban on same-sex marriage here in Alabama. And that is, of course, a very hotly contested topic right now. And my professor is not only helping to prepare, things and prepare for the upcoming appeal to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, but also he's now working with other groups and also with the state in preparing arguments and things like that are going to go to the U.S. Supreme Court here in the next few months. So he let us know that, he's like, I'm going to be kind of busy here for the next few weeks, just the next few, like 6 or 8 weeks. He's like, just to let you know, if you come to the office and I'm busy and tell you that I need you to go away, he's like, just don't, just understand that I'm kind of working on something huge. So that's pretty crazy to see, my professor working on such a timely and such a huge issue right here before our eyes. So, of course, he can't really tell us much about it, but through, legal resources and things like that, I kind of follow, what they're doing, at least on the back end. I'm not privy to any inside information, but I can read all the legal, documents and things like that. So that's pretty cool. I've been trying to read through that and look at that. I found out he was actually published in the BYU Law Review, too, at one time. So his name's Adam McLeod, if anybody wants to look him up. Anyway, so that's kind of exciting, and of course, like the Fred Graves Symposium is exciting, and in the coming months with the Supreme Court going to be looking at this issue, and I think there's 4 issues at least, that they're going to be examining possibly when they go under the microscope here, that they could rule on that, really is this will be one of the landmark cases, probably one of the biggest ones since the Civil Rights Movement. You were talking like Roe v. Wade and Brown versus Board of Education kind of level right now, possibly, depending on what happens here and what they want to rule on and things like that. So watch the Supreme Court here in a few months from now when they make these rulings, because it's kind of history in the making. So we'll see what happens with that. As for that, that's pretty much what's been going on with school. The rest of my classes just kind of motoring right through, but I feel really good because I feel like I'm understanding the topics, and I feel like I'm grasping really well and polishing my outlines this weekend, and just kind of motoring on, keeping going, and not getting bogged down. I'm not really feeling discouraged or anything like that. I'm actually just feeling super, super excited. I mean, I tell people all the time that I actually really, really love going to law school, and I think it's just because I'm really excited. I really like this field of study, so I just got to keep that excitement going, I guess. And I guess the last thing I'll talk about is we're kind of gearing up for summer internships and things like that, which means that on-campus interviews and registering for those are starting. And of course, a lot of you know that like the first thing I want to do is intellectual property, so copyrights, patents, trademarks, things like that. and on the side, like the second alternative or whatever you could say would be taxation and or criminal law. Well, so we got kind of a listing of who we already kind of know is approved and who we commonly work with for field placement opportunities, and I've been making my list and prepping my resume and cover letters and things like that to put applications in with them. I'm also talking with my school right now. I'm kind of on the list of people that they hopefully will send in a few months, a couple months from now. Over in Atlanta, they have the Southeastern Intellectual Property Job Fair, so that's a place where I send my information to once I get to get registered for it. And the thing I need to go through the school is basically they can get me registered and set up, and they can even pay my fees, any registration fees, which is good. But if I can get everything working through that, then I could possibly get interviews with the patent office or things like that. That's really exciting. Not to mention like a ton of firms and other employers and things like that. So it's super exciting to think about that. That's a big possibility. I'm also kind of weighing my options and seeing if there's anywhere else I can network in town, maybe to possibly get a placement or an internship. I'm also going to be sending a packet to the IRS Chief Counsel, the recruiting attorney office, and things like that. And that's just going to be to let them know, hey, I'm here. I'm really excited. I want to, be a part of this, and I want to write like a dazzling cover letter and say, because it's kind of always up in the air whether or not, I don't even know how their volunteer internships really work. They don't really have a lot of information about it on the web to really search for. So, and I don't really know anybody in council that I can talk to. So a lot of it's going to have to go through DC. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to say, first of all, if I can work at Birmingham part-time as a volunteer intern for Chief Counsel, and or Atlanta, if I could, maybe work there a couple days a week, and that'd be manageable. Because Atlanta, they have, and I don't want to get too technical, but they have an SBSC Chief Counsel office in Birmingham, and in Atlanta they have not only that, but they have Large Business International, they have criminal law, they have, I think they have two administrative counsel offices for the IRS. So they have like everything, when it comes to Atlanta. And with that would be a very broad amount of experience and a lot of networking I could do. So I'm really going to try and see if they'll take me for that, and make the argument that, hey, I'm already an IRS employee. I mean, this is my resume. My resume should set me up for that. And I think if I can hit them with a cover letter, and maybe if I can network a little through some of my connections that I have, say like on LinkedIn, I have a lot of counsel connections through there. If I can maybe get to know them a little bit better or something like that, maybe work my way into a good summer position, and that'd be fantastic. That's like that's like what I could do. That would be like one of the best things. But I'm super excited. Just want to do really good this semester, and I did good last semester. I didn't do amazing, but I did really good in my classes, and so I want to really do especially well this semester, and then go into the summer strong and head into the fall semester, with all that energy, and knowing that in the fall I'm going to be able to take intellectual property finally and kind of really jumpstart maybe getting into the IP field, because that's something like I've said before that I really want to get in on if I can. And with that said, that's really all there is. I'll keep you up to date, of course, on internships or interviews or anything else like that I find out about. I hope that all of you are enjoying my video blog of me being in law school. And let me know if you are, and I know some of you are because I've loved your comments. Sorry if I don't respond to them all. Like you probably know, I'm in law school, so I'm super busy, and sometimes I mean to respond to them and I just kind of neglect to. So I do apologize. I do read all the comments though, so thank you for that and the likes. And remember to subscribe below, and also to like the video if you like it. And if you dislike it, then, well, I guess I kind of understand, because law school for some of you probably would be kind of boring. So no, I'm just kidding. Anyway, hope you all are doing well. Miss you all, and I will be back next week with another update here